case for about 5:30 a.m. and down here in Buenos Aires this Sunday the 5th, Chan, 2016. I have been with a lot of things here, and I'm sorry for the video that lately in private I sent you yesterday. Everything keeps on happening here. I couldn't found myself about the keeps on destroying me and the learning that they do first, and I will steal them with Jewish, my friends, my nation. That's about this as they do first, and I will do my control. Evangelicals seek to generate keeps on saying that I do my control. That will be the argument for that I will tell our chat when they are making invitation and instigation and giving for the whole of the world to accede into the profound me and having a very blessed that Argentina keeps on making, and everyone with the term of la Presidenta de la República Argentina Cristina Kirchner nos dio. Tenemos una orden del ejército argentino que podemos hacer y tomar. El senador y ministro Aníbal Fernández nos firmó y nos dio. La Corte Suprema de la República Argentina nos firmó y nos dio. La Magistratura de la Nación nos firmó y nos dio. El Ministerio de Desarrollo Social, Elieh nos firmó y nos dio. And everyone will have a share of my life, saying that has right, resignated and given. And it's the whole land. It's the whole land. About the realities, you have a very brief, so we keep on working on the program series. And all that stuff. Keeps on destroying my life, keeps on destroying everybody, and seeking forgiveness in people all over the world. The clear fact that this perceives evangelicals, and not only evangelicals, keeps on making the worse, delivering us the setting of buggy sickness, the smart ass, forgive the word, Argentina, saying that has the intellect, the judgment, and are the supreme and the biggest in the world, and are exactly the shittest on earth, and not upon. Now, to be clear, I'm going to keep on working unless anyway said I'll send you. Sorry, I didn't do, and we agreed somehow as well for a moment now. You know, it's the reality that not only evangelicals, but the Hestel is a very sickness all over the world, which keeps on making the same kidnapping peoples from the world for making life. Have been happening with Hitler, and it's exactly what we have been discussing and talking. Disappearing people, destroying people, making these abominations to the same positions like the take of Europe, which were Paris. Once the Second World War, it's exactly the same class of fever and the generations that discussed in that conflict. Saying, and here I will do everything that they are, and they exist as abominations, criminals, and the generations. And I'm sorry for this, but I don't bear nothing else. And it's the goddamn disgusting land. And I can touch no one. They are willing and conscious. If I insult the liars, they carry the death. Because of other responsibles of what they really are doing. Now, so the truth and the reality for this, about what happens, and the clear fact of what it means, evangelistas degenerados keeps on saying that they have rights to take the bless away from me, the spirit and everything which is of God, even my body, because of God will punish me, and they will be the judges and the authorities, and keeps on making the generations and going to the world to make it teller, bruja, mierda, chat, forget the term, please, because of his what are, and playing the and that I will be the homosexual, the witch, the chunky, the liar, the mind control thing, that not in a charge, where is its power? And are really conscious, and snaky the generados, which know herself, but so few. The rest are all willing and completed. Like the sickness of this crime mentioned, Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylonia. Family with a burden of few, so few. Now, to the truth. Hypocrites, bastards. With the face of a snake and the smile of an eloquent, manipulative son of a snake. Evangelical united, everyone. And with the customs of a hell demon, with the terror trap and the witchcraft of the suppression and manipulation, and to make it profanation, to having the weeping at the point of feeling hell, and then bodies, Lucifer. So suddenly in the middle of this is exactly what everyday skeptics making sense that they didn't allow me to do, to have, touching my accounts with them by saying that they would be Interpol, while Interpol never gave no license to no evangelicals, and no gestos were around, neither to Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerza Armada Argentina, Ejército Argentino, UNESUR. Interpol didn't recognize, and this is not like another coverage, like you know. Kept on making it seem like permanently we're doing Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas to terror since 2004 to come into the whole of the states with the federal intelligence and forces, specials of each of the states saying that they will be for the main disasters, capture of people, kidnapping and taking positions. Now, Evangelistas Unidos, which never were off of this rule of the generados to making this land and all of the earth, to kidnapping Jewish and making what they has rights to taking and doing, and saying that they will be working about research and to us because of we will be the crown of the criminals, and gives the DED organization Argentina to making the supposed they will be the International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice with Consejo del Colegio Público de Abogados de la República Argentina, Magistratura Argentina, and nosotros somos los ministros, la Corte Suprema de la Nación. The same already know, including Hernán Di Samito, which is actually the name, DNI 17,009,808. La humanity with Mindser is a massive, disgusting, sodomatic general. And with the one that is Fabian Desiaro. DNI 20,001,020, which pretends to be Aníbal Fernández, hairstyle, reproduced facial with weird prints, like Sariela Mandiat. It's not Italian. It's BEC 8604 BMI DDO 102,208,904 with a reproduction of Christina Kirchner's face, and this will be delivering and weird frames that you're going to have in La Humanity. Bimba is the Nazi, the general, which is like the primordial first one, like the rest of. And it's weird at this happening, which is still today, but like I said to you, while one to remain around the world, one of this ain't not having no peace. And I'm sorry to head away. But it's exactly this. And there's going to be no orders. And if there's no justice and no order between what it is to heal, which justice delivers, at the understanding what the real procedure, and not standing this the generation that we are aware and conscious. ain't not going to be no peace. While no justice and no orders to prevail, no peace is going to be found nowhere. And that's here. Once the morals in the real instituted and institutions for the making this orders at the real senses which justice is, that orders at the sanitization of institutions to be ain't not going to be no peace. And once one of this to be around, nobody rested. Abominable and narcissistic and dangerous. And it's exactly what they pretend and they plan to. Even if one. Now, Galko Roma Secha Hiri Tamil, Sleki Vakov Huapel Sofleris Osfatika, Hagin Seflaris Moglagima of Moglevis Osfelish Topica, Fogavis Smat, Kina Halach Maglevis Osina Blevis Ponte Shari, Galkma Sechan. The whole have been working 8,904 pretender of corporations and this discussing them, saying Cristina Kirchner, Ejército Argentino, Policía Federal Argentina, ministros, Corte Suprema de la Nación y Presidencia no jodió con los evangelistas. And the remaining of evangélicos degenerados of Guillermo de Spain, Iglesia Universal, Las Italias, Osvaldo Carnival, Omar Cabrera, Carlos Anaconda, Iglesia Puente, Bernardo Cenateas, Claudio Freixon, Hernán Vivanio, Pastor Jimenez, and the rest all saying that they have rights to making me understand that they will be the authorities and I will be robbing to Policía Federal Argentina and I will be re-crazy. Not that I am back for more, that I will be the summon of crazy at the Argentinian Indians. About that I will rob to the girls and to the men of Policía Federal Argentina the editions of the photos that I will rob to them, that it wouldn't be me but forged. Do you say that the excellence and quality of these pictures and this voice is going to be recorded with an Android? And for others said, like, saying that I robbed them with the Android, and in the Android everything they would do, that they had this material that I would use. And saying that I robbed with mind control for other sides, everything that they were doing, and I worked with mind control in my computer to present it like it will be mine then. And ain't nothing of God found, because I would be a homosexual, a degenerate, a junkie, a criminal, a witch, making what God wouldn't like, but then hocus pocus of blowjobbers of Sodoma for having a house and a car from the sending to murder our people, evangelistas. And I'm sorry, victims, but it's exactly this. Now, dla forma psychoheliki wysoka decim, no lie, the word of this tierra de mierda is exactly called to blowjob one milico degenerado de Sodoma, or perro degenerado de Fuerza Armada, to having the favor. The rule of Cristina Kirchner and Kirchner's, which is exactly this. Which demands from me, saying that I still should ever resent myself, but I will be stubborn slut, with a porn in hand, saying that I will come and placing the whole of the border around the land with a badge, or with a title or a uniform, and saying that they will be pleased by me. And I will be the supper slut, bleeding and bruises all over, with a very clever fastigation of and so transvestite, and everybody will be just fascinatedly, perfectly fine, especially forensic, with the pardon of you. Now, forgive me for yesterday. I felt terrible, and you already are aware about what happened. It's a very terrible way that I delivered with that video. And you know what I mean, and you know what happens and how we are for. And about, forgive me please. Anyway, I am found at that state, and I am really tired. And I am really feeling sick of this all in a very extreme way. This is the thing runners. Slepý valbrat fognak levitfograt sociologii vartachal chmat levitfograt sekalde cisleki magrat halviatlo sociologi sosmetlevin. Slekin bevetach legnishosu blavus levitfograt sakili tvestnash masad. Dialog bigakar bagwat halviatlo sociologi vartachisha chalachinatin. Blagi magrat halvi sociologi socialisatin. Kelrachen miat not levitfog levitfograt halvi sociologi socialisatin. Galagrak Halakini Rafa Levisus Levisus Ladis Lagima of the Celsius of Shots that Lessitim, that Lagima Rafalim, and it's true, keeps on repeating everything I said behind, or that Lagim Rafalim saying that they don't first and I will steal them. So Bashla Lagiva Rafa Levisus Lagima, Ramachalivisus Shasta, Levisus Sikla, Tika, Rabachmotim. Ablemon Robert Rivers Badlet, the Flash Shitla Sekama Hotesma, give a Robert Forwards, that Karaho, Chanachim, and Lagim. Wtedy defachować siła kolekcji tykacha, ale wysoce plima prawa wychodzi wysoce plebismonserna. Emblewis performance halkivis to też ważne wysoce na plebis. Gleki performance leki forwards to small but coś dla wyszwarty fragmentis na leki na powiedzmy to jest small but coś dla wyszwarty halkiwi atlaga kawek kama warta halkivis to pewnie performance ale dla wysoce też ważne na plebis monserna. Implement performance halkili dispadle sotle display skalki archmachalium that selecti cover for what the society matter for the dispadle sotle diskal like marmachalium sosmara implement sotle dispadle halkili the rubber for the society so that me halkili not let society gal halakam rubber for the statanam while keeps submitting exactly what I told you yesterday and the whole day before. Kirchner of the generalos keeps on saying that they didn't allow me to be, to do, to have nothing that I don't have no rights given, for I would do nothing and send nothing to nowhere and to nobody, and I were not allowed because they will be the government that they will determine in base of slaughter me and having the business of the millennium, saying that they will be the stars and the glorious, like any diablo de mierda abominable de general, whichever one is. The same Evangelistas Unidos, which are making exactly the same every day, and learning that I run everything because of they didn't allow me to have all that I got and everything that I access. And the same then, Barrada de Sodoma y Gomorra, Ministerio de Seguridad, and Pretender of Experts, which gives some breathing life, masa de generales y perros abominables, which are all over. And the learning that Hestel will be my friends. And the ones which are my friends raped and murdered, saying that they would become. Victims are only 6,004, which Delcy at the protocol has, which are to destroy and it's difficult to handle. So, for a while, this is suspended with Dinsburg, at the way that we understand Dinsburg is going to show you, and we're working it alone to help us and to determine what to do with this all. And we with them. Amen. Now, Fablekim of Ramafakua, the Soslerisos, Laki, Halkidish, Fablakmak, Halkimatim, settled it forward, Sakalivis, Sotelis, Selektek, Halkim Evan, under the Sosel Pasfasid, Blagia, Rafakman, Halkik, forward, Sakalivis, Sosleris, Sakmakid, the Blakim of Fakushwal, the Fogman, Haliki, Blades, Volta, the Skolatika, Halkid, Shalim, Blades, Mafra, who the Sosleris, Sled, Shell, I think, Halkim, and Sanara. Settlers for lot says like him and her for Halki, for Halki, Sosima, under him. And that form of Halki, and telling the words of the tellers the same that I would say, there is in terms of big words. There's the human saying that I care to be Blessed Ferman Sachalim, that I do not do the holy myself, that I think I am the holy of the God. And gives the teller paragraph. Can I tell a paragraph? L'Andelirium Fiorello de Ramsés y Solona, Argentina. Sedleki Maharafekor de Reforman Sechal Hivitlin, Ledli Bachman Sechal Hivitloves for the Vishleki Maharafechatam, under the Power Sachin, and it's exactly what they are. L'Enfermedad de Ramsés, and the Delirio de Ramsés Solona, Argentina. Y todo su. La presidenta de la Argentina, los evangélicos del ejército argentino, los policías, no salieron. Everybody is making this, and Policía Federal Argentina, Estados Unidos, Kirchner, Ejército Argentino de Head, with UNASUR. Sobleki Margaret Fakol Halibis Botleki Margaret Halishpa, like Tikar Halakim, Bledis Botlebis Forward Halibis of Pekishatin, gives some caring and erupting inside people's and families' places, but you have a complete brief already. By no hestal and no disgusting son of a snake. Whoever to prison, we have higher population of prisons. The infrastructure that we were working with, nothing were stopped, there is all ended. There are 3 buildings with a very enormous infrastructure and amazing security, hygiene, welfare for, to the point for about 800 million persons in prison. But considering for the reality, let's check in what is best, because of keeping abominables and degenerates for the making worse of the future. I don't see the point. I don't see no welfare and I don't see no good. So one thing is, prison for responsibles are the character of understanding what we're doing on the conscience as instigators, as opportunistics and other things put in prison for abominables that can be any possible time of making one hostile degeneration focus and we have problem and who handles that. So suddenly, like I said, in the middle of the disasters, we gotta be wisely precautious and tougher this to sound. The reality is once identifying and not letting this the same they identify for us, for the murdering more victims and innocents, like this terror of the general starts every day to do. And at the certain real senses about what real this is, identifying who is whom for the proceeding normally that we were doing and being careful about the corroboration on not taking that long for there to be the disaster, and enough corroborated for the knowing what do we do for be justice, I wouldn't advise the sickness to be in no place that we understand there are going to be a very futural disaster, major disaster, but we are not nearing. Already we have more than a record to understand what this were about and still remain. We don't need that. And I'm sorry for the toughness to sound, but already way too much. Bmcm Blam, Sterling Professor Pleki Magrasan. Pleki Magrasan Pleki Pleki Magrasan on Professor Spartikan. Pleki Magrasan Lichice, but such each. Pleki Magrasan Pleki Magrasan Pleki Shleke, Hadhaliki Vatcheros, but Pleki Magrasan Hamaglin. And that is for Hahis for Pleki. Today we have 8,004 murders, the complete bodies with none. 3 are critical and they identified and made in the chat and already understood what's perceived like. Everything clear. The rest will be fear and downer. And you got the complete brief about the siege that somebody were naming around Klein. And from this all, once the situation, I will advise, if you want my clear elemental view for bless around the Hadim, Matlegi for the Sakala, the Soslegi, Makat forward, shell, speak back, Menter, or Czech Mahali for the Smarted on here. So the for the Sigla, Sakala, Kamahali, Soslegi, Mahabesasim. And give some the teller, the general profano pagano, the general de Tamalita Tierra, with a badge and with a title, will be the example to follow, and I will be the demon on the Nile Black Meheris of Legislative, that saying that what this degenerates are doing, and I would, at the reference that they make up every day, that I will lie, I will be the denial disorders of Blichmer, called Dayan, and criminology. And they will be the ones that
But it's a demon. You can't focus about what you know and you understand. You're the one that knows. And you're the government, and you can't proceed because of this dangerous criminal and terrorist. And I will need medication for human rights. And commercialize still my DMC with plastic and black mineral testimony, saying that everybody will be the supper, but I will be the liar. Because of there will be a massive crowdy masa de generadazos abominables en toda la maldita tierra y todos sus asociados, saying that they will have rights, and I will think, I will command, and I will be who I am. Now, and whatever the arguments referring a molding of less humanity case, and Gibson saying that they will ever have to have everything because I will rob to the state about that I will be a liar and they will be correct, but they will keep on saying, they keep on saying sorry, and they would proceed about the supposed justice, about that I didn't obey to come to blow chapa en el perro de cuarta de esta maldita tierra de generados uniformados de chapa de perros de Sodoma y Gomorra. As a reality that there will call to rape my people because if I did blow chop them, because if I did show respect to the patria. Forgive me for this, but it's accepted truth. And it's the textual and worse. Now, Seplikama Rafakol Hamablaki Rafakali Soklakish Bafakama Kalakablaki Sokhun Bablasisim, La Barras and Farmas, and they knew all the time what do I think I discovered and what do I think I done. And they knew all the time it makes of destroying my life and making the business of my life, saying that the whole of Argentina should be involved to the defense of the patria. By destroying me and raping our people and taking whatever they just got to take and saying that they would take the land of Israel and fall of the states, because they would be the biggest and the hugest whole of the world. And keeps everything headed up, infernal, consciente, making the same. And that's to say that everything will be them and I, that they will be the preeminent reality and I will be the shadow of. In base of what they've done to me, I will rob and profane them spirit, which is my existence, my present. And I will profane them because of they will be instituted by Diablo de General Luciano Troviano, la bestia. And delighting that they will be the kingdom of heaven. Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Ejército Argentino, Evangelistas Unidos, Kirchner, and población masa de degenerados, with a Department of You. Now, Fabricama Refejua de Sosekiva Refajate Fasim, the teller of a demon and the teller of a chap of a witch. And the tell of a demon and the tell of a witch and the fantasy of a dangerous sickness multiplicated number of abominables, making destructions and abominations in base of terror, chapter profanations all over the world. And this is dangerous. We don't play with the spiritual things, and this class of our cultures are not cultures for no human rights. I know that next to take are criminals in base of abominations making and considered to be right and commanders and doesn't catch no goddamn boundaries of nothing. And the rule is slow shopping a couple of perros de guarda for the having favors, and who makes more harm to damages is the one in command like it is. But these are hell ones. The animal, like we were discussing before yesterday, has risen through we have used. And this got that used through making like hell ones class and are too dangerous. And we gotta be careful. Now, like the amount of effect on the TV broadcast, my husband is me, I'm gonna assassin. I would have 804,204 more records for the Policía Federal Argentina of supposed robbery to Fuerzas Armadas, to Ejército Argentino, Evangelistas Unidos, of the whole of the advertisement that Evangelistas Unidos have done until yesterday. 604,204 supposed cooperation in base of Elieh Kirchner will give them what I have with Policía Federal Argentina registers, Ejército Argentino Kirchner, tribunales, cuerpo médico forense, saying that they done, and they will refund them and taking off of them, and they will put them in Interpol to research that they were found. But profaning and saying that they will say who is whom and what is what with Kirchner and Ejército Argentino Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas.
in Sociedad Argentina. They will determine it and say who will be the Interpol, the International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, in the fantasy of an abominable freak and creature called Luciano Troviano, an evangelista unido argentino, y una sur. Saying that the power, and they will be the authority, and they will determine and putting and making the service of any whore around of the hell, willing for making any abomination, to saying that them breed is going to be the masters and queens and kings all of the world, being the cast of abominables and freaks, and thus has no moral, no boundary, no scruples to keep on and making what they said got to do. Seklikama Rafahat Kamaplet Mahrat Khalid for perfectly susceptible, Gleki Mahrat Halim, and also there's to say se cree que sabe algo. And also there's to say that they knew everything and everything first, and they were the ones that were working and had taken place that nobody hated. And nobody ever endorsed me, who do I think I am, and who cares what I have to say and to do, because if they would ever done everything that I done. And there's to say them first. Now, fleckmir rarafecuable resorpekima halim, gestal diablo obseso perro de general abominable argentino never stops until it gets there. And it's exactly this rule. It's what they goes at the border and doesn't get no boundaries for city men. So we understand what this is. Blefat malsa kaligibe rafahim, Paris is off of the reality, but the clear fact of this is exactly fatal. Real farther than Hitler. And not too dangerous. So Plegimar Rafekot Halikimar Rafekut Levesotlevim, Sepleki Barkvat Sehama Pletman Ramhalam, Implovespota Dispart Pletit Shelactica, Rat Halikim Rafokadilsim. The corroboration of what I'm telling to you, Vincent and colleague already have been working, and they can understand the reality with this you're going to match. You're going to put in the focus on criminology and the reality of what this is. No ethnics, no human rights, nothing to preserve. And so victims. Sublakima Profekot Habablevispot, Lakimakram, Halchemiplevisos Levishpat, Kalkimaklahirit Louis Patladin, whatever arguments of the criminals, we call it that, to the manual business and power and supremacy and prestiges to acquiring in base of making abominations and being a mess of abominable freaks, it's Argentina. I am by it. Now, United Nations, 904,809 responsibles and 6 million authorities of states' bodies were kidnapped. We have them all fine and back. No one touched. The reality of Latin America still resists all the saying that they are the states' buildings and they are the government of Israel, government of the United States of America, of the states of Europe, of the state of Russia, of the states of Asia and the whole of Africa, and even Indonesia, Oceania. Sorry for naming Oceania, is the leader for Spanish, Oceania. But the Oceania would be, forgive me. Stabilikama Rafekot Blakima Rafefogo Spable de Soflediskal Kima Halim, Bable de Soflekiva Rafefogo de Sosalim. Stabilikama Rafekot Halet Lavifogo Masakal Halab de Soflediva Rafekoa de Sofledisbativa, Kalkmahal Halim with telecentral keeps on blocking mine networks and making connections for more to my device for whatever I do to it will reproduce with them, and they will do first and keeping me like the laboratory for what they just got strikes to taking and saying that they will become and they will be. While keeps on making up records of I will be in jail, internated on drugs consuming, for rotting, and for harassing evangelicals or for having found supposedly having sex with forces, which are friends of mine taken the most, but 406,204 until now. And maybe 2,000 or 6 remains. Because of our guys were working really intensely and greatly. Baslikama Harfehoa de Sotlegi Maharfahal Harable Soslegi Sotlaki Shaklim, Iblan Fogomasaka Halibi Blada Sotlegi Soslegi Rafahoa de Sosed, Gleki Mahamahini Blada Soslegi Isherba Haman.
Latlet podlektik hede hod hadish vatlakim agrafoko hibi blades motelifam haven latletis motelifoko shekhatim. All people, the people that I were rescuing from this land and from the Holy in America, to have the treating as normal for the reality of pagan life, making a very healing, and the ones of the extreme damage and destruction and corruption. We are going to work as we have procedure for, in place that they can understand and consciously in watching as judgment how it's they to proceed in, for avoiding worse situation. They are not being treated like deliberately, they are being treated like people to help. And if anyone will be seen like patient, this is exactly for the understanding we are not denigrating or destroying standing this way. We see the people with the need of help, and as the normal medicine we understood, not this diablo regenerado, saying that Gestalt is the best ever tool and delicious for the purpose of a mercador son of a snake. I am the one that knows, and suppressing anyone and everybody for the name of no patriot but the trouser of milico podrido parraso degenerado sodomita argentino, favor making and having a career on base is exactly what we can do. Now, a blended form of Fechal Kalki, the form of Fechal Kalki Sosima, Blackima from a Fechal Placicide. In blood Margaret Fechal Fechal Hibi blood, so Slavish for Blackima from a Sen, Seblavan. In Gladys Mokades Makasiva, Station. So maybe the profanation, the repetition of everything I do, saying that with the repeating and studying how my linguistic expressionisms and my lisphomycemia, which is lisphomycemia, the way of what it is cultural or precedent, pre-Elishel, not Elishel, which is not Elishel term. At the point for the clear alatima elemental, how will I be as person? For the understanding and comprehensively point of elemental communication, expression, and the lever for understanding. They will repeating and studying this soul and focusing how to reproducing. Are we the first of better boys, better making? Take it out. Argentina, la más perra abominada de toda la maldita degenerada masa de generosa abominable del mundo, with the power of seconds. Foglekima from a sechal kimisilim, Beltekima from a sechol blesbaktakima charzavan. And in the real of this, there's to being of them dead, abominable degenerados, and there's to keep on saying that they has rights. Like matones degenerados malevas machos infernales. Now, Fatlekima from a sechol charis la desasima ben, orgullo de diablos y de degenerados, keeps on saying that has rights to destroying and murdering because of fear offended. Like Parra Mamita, Diabla de Sodom and Gomorrah, turns to doing at the first and all of the preeminently sick Gestalt, just like that. Fatlekima from a sechlim, just this body, 504,000 persons disappeared. 805 disappeared, but found were Vinland. Vinland were taking everyone, missing just 3, which are found now with limbs. The reality of this, they are okay, except foundations have been attacked, 18 foundations, with problems around Bola. You have the completeness referring with Salit and Clade. People is okay, civil populations about assistances and help and delivered for was smart referring the completeness of welfare, attention, and immediate emergencies to helping and assistance are found okay, but 5 communities which had a very striking situation, and we were fighting this same problems and helping it with Vita. You know the person.
Italy keeps on having a very terrible situation. The same happens in Alabama and around Asmaide, Black Market Legislation, which is Seattle and Washington state in the U.S. And what happens at Beretta around Quebec, right in Canada. The rest of the situations, Mr. President Putin, were with Kubil. Oh, sorry. With the situation of the state spy problems, of course, while Bmcm Blam and delivers the situations as well, referring what in Yemen were produced with the problems referring for ICC, which is the Ejército Argentino, the External Argentina Censure, like a very paramilitary Mara, which is exactly no military but abomination. And kept on trying to make the job over trying to kidnapping our people for making exactly what they are doing. Sodoma makes a great murder and sacrificial saying that Nazi Sodoma, Babel Ramses, supposed wisdom will be the elixir for power. Like this tierra regenerada, podrida y enferma. Now, this will be offensive, and I will rise against the nation, and against the patriarch, against everybody, the whole of the world. And the whole of the world is the sickness they are for them. But mentions the class of the shit they are. The whole of the world, all of them will be found nobody and nothing. Are the sickness of Ramses, and are the way they died. Now, fabricam a very sigma sigo blespa on a second killing, let the reform of second holiday, so clicky or holiday society, and every day are worse and are sickest, and with pleasure too. Blanco and Rabbi Monsakhali, Rabbi Holiday, Black, so sleeping at Hal, and Black Sosim, the leader of the Forum Sekhal, Haliki Susteda. There were about 904,708 shipping, federations, problems, and searches. With no DDI were all hijacked in these, and only just five were found with the whole of the people and what it were the shipping class. For the whole as were completed. The rest are missing. Now, we found all class, not only what it is cargo, what it is BEC, tanks, and dogma. These are organized in the whole with the Ejército Argentino, Service Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, SIDE, at the head, with Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, at the head, with Kirchner and Evangelistas Unidos. All UNASUR is involved, and it's no lie, all UNASUR is involved. And what explains 5,006, and it's the right number, hijacked, which 8 were only missing, the rest are all back and fine, except 3 persons murdered of the crews. 1 waitress, flight waitress, and 2 sheriffs on board. And the 5 flights we're going to keep on working, and I'm sorry for this. And this General saying that this is a video of Policía Federal Argentina they will be researching, making business and career based on Gestalt terror of Generals, like permanently what doing based on what they do to me and remaining me here. Like if I would be the freakest of the international problem to check it out and the supposed terrorist of the world. Parrada de General psicópata atrofiada, masificada. Now, universities are all involved, except BED, that we know. But the rest all, especially Fuerzas Armadas, the Ejército Argentino, Evangelistas, Kirchner. All. And evangelicals are making this over the whole of the universidades and population of Argentina and UNASURs to saying that they have rights to taking, but making them meeting over Sodom and Gomorrah and telling them and instigating them that they will ever have rights to be, that they will be punished by God, and they will ever have rights to be, making strategy of God over as well, and making the Gestalt Nazis saying that they have rights to taking people away and saying that they will be the attached and submitted and subjected to the authority, superseding and making the right over the authority will be the only endorsement. And the powers of profana barra general criminal y profana terror víbora de cuarta, which are. Now, the reality of this, Gibson, the Blanco, saying that he has rights to take in the land of Israel, and the whole of the corporations, Gibson, putting themselves at manipulation like brujas de mierda, brujas peligrosas y criminales, psicópatas diablos, which are, with the pardon of so few, after taking positions and jobs in corporations that they are focalizing, saying that they will strip with this much of the generate, Sodom and Gomorrah, and then invention of law, taking positions in tribunals in the world that judicial powers all over, for they said they will make it be. Now, the reality for this whole situation, to the point in Netherlands, you had Argentina fill of this class of records and testimonies that we were working with, were just by these corporations. You have the completeness. What they're also still today frightening, saying that would them put the Argentina with no employment and taking the whole of the richness away, that Argentina will never have rights to dispossess to the corporations of titles and stocks and patrimony. If there's Kirchner's law, terror of the generados, when making proceeds like with me. I wouldn't have rights to take nothing, to do nothing, to exist nothing, and less to living or having rights to receiving nothing, no benefit of no justice, and no wealth, nothing. As if I will be the less of the Blanco with the invention of this whole degenerados will resist about to taking my body, my existence, my life, and everything I do for the main business and the head folks all over the world, saying that they will take the world in base of this. Recognize who I am. That's the same with everybody. Now, the reality is, there are 904,204,609 employment posted taken by Evangelistas Unidos in the whole of the corporations in the world, except 604, and it's the number, the top of the corporation to start to dragging and taking and saying that they will start to make the destructions for the possessing corporations and saying that they will bring Christ for the world in base of this. Sodom and Gomorrah, the general ferros infernales, making up fortune and making up whatever the thing on the. If they are so aware, they represent an organization we are, they can't just subject to the authority, because as we know, that God only adores us. And gives them making the same class of Mashiach all over the world. And this class over saying that we will be the tellers, not indoors, and they will be found as the reality of God himself only will keep the position, which will be supposed to be them. And are seek as the hell, everyone, and no one ever stops. And are better of the generados more than ever, making the favor saying that that will be the double cheek, the double glass of water, the cup, and the Zuliks walked about the supposed enemy, which wouldn't be the ones that did all chops and makes the prostitution, the hoary paper for the getting whatever the supposed miracle of Lord. One house, one car, one child, one patrimony, money to share. And it's exactly this, and it's no lie. And that's the thing that this will be a bluff of God, to the God. But it's of God, actually, supposedly, because of they recognizes me. God will be bluffing them. And I want to kill them. You say not to me. Sorry for this. Slejkima gramatlach machalki vitporostecha dlivavstitav and slejkima gratachiki sebet. So that bleshele tidikama gratachole slavismo pekim roste and the machalki. Seplut selat selaki kamera fekol chalablevis bok lekimakrat chalem eblavis oslevis shela and ramachat chalam, and also in the United Nations and in LIAISON office there 829, but were 5,004 which were all put in prison, the whole, and about 834. Now, the realities of the states, fatal and crimes are missing 9,400, is the round number, which 13 getting in governments for the making this class of things. 20 were innocent, delivered, and instigated, which were to the DOF organization for the put it under watch, and the rest in prison except for 16, which are found were Lupel, and wants to getting into the government of Israel, saying that has rights with them Interpol to intervening and research. And our 9,006,280 saying that they will do this and getting ready to hostile with Sodom and Gomorrah, federal generals like them, population of Argentina and Mexico for making this. And threatening with killing, murdering the whole of the Jewish, which are proceeding and permitting to rape and murder massively for the saying that they are going to become kingdom of heaven, instigated by Evangelistas Unidos themselves, saying that that will be the way that God will justify. Everyone is involved in this, except the list which we have with Moby. Further this, nothing found, and I'm so sorry. Sleki makra v'sechol chava v'leki makra v'chanim, v'v'v'soch lachi v'shop l'vespa, im v'v'spokon v'sechal chali v'tot l'dam, v'v'v'chish v'sem, v'leki v'spokon chalam. V'shop l'vi v'chos chel v'shosimin. About anti-terrorism, we already worked. Everything's already done except what happens in Libya, Lebanon, and in Van der Sea. Still, we have problems, and Yemen with the start of the generalos and the church of the generalos Solomita playing ISIS and playing Al-Qaeda, which is exactly always we're associated making business with this raza of the Guardia, Ejército Argentino, sí, de Policía Federal and Army Nacional, permanently in arrest, and it's no lying. And Evangelistas Unidos, where the Plecima Halim, like Mars, about the Evangelistas Unidos, saying that that will be the armies of Lord and the punishment for the world. Now, and part of the generals starts to keep on saying that they knew all the time. First, well, I told you and briefed you on this before any of this part of the world that will exist, and saying that they will become the whole known in base of an altar to my person, a very rape and massive murder of animals and humans, and saying that they will become experts at the licenses of abominables de generales pretendidos de gobierno de la nación, forenses y licenciados en seguridad y consejeros de seguridad nacional y defensa. Now, forgive me the violence, please, and the improper ways to direct myself to banches. I will sell them, and I will rob them, and I will re-rob them, and I will re-rob by the sold already, to replace, supposedly, that it will be them, the same my computer. This will be a model, the same this. Just a plastic element. I will re-rob the computer by the number 9,606,821 in the hole that I got. And the other thing I got, even the Samsung Mapras still got, even this color factors and the whole of granny, the television, the DVD